Welcome to the Mountain Magnolia Show, where your host, Mary Noble Braden, will introduce you to Swannanoa Valley's most interesting and most iconic individuals.
Let's give 'em something to talk about.
Hello to all you wonderful listeners out there. This is Mary Noble Braden on the Mountain Magnolia Radio Show. Thank you for listening to our show today. And our focus here is to reveal the heart and soul of our beautiful community here in Western North Carolina. And I just wanted to say a little bit about that. If you're walking down the street and you talk to somebody and you don't get to talk to them long enough, this is a great show for individuals to come on and really reveal the heart and soul, get to learn and know our beautiful people here in our community. So I just wanted to put that out there. And anyway, also I wanted to share that we are so excited that we are on all the podcast platforms. Search Mountain Magnolias to find us on Spotify, Apple, and any other podcast platform. And you can also listen to our show Wednesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 10 a.m. on Bigfoot. All right, well, we've got some beautiful guests here today. Kathryn and Trevor Rudisill from the Peri the Peri Social House. Thanks, guys, for coming.
Thanks
for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been wanting to have you guys here for a while, and I'm so glad it turned out last week we had a little event at y'all's Peri House Social, and sorry, I'm saying it wrong. The Peri Social House. I get a little nervous too, right before I do the podcast. So, anyway, thank y'all so much for coming.
No, thank you for having us, and thank you for all you're doing here. I think it's so awesome, just kind of getting to get the feel of other business owners and people in the community, and it's such a great way just to be able to learn about them when, like you said, sometimes you don't have the time for the full conversation.
Yeah, I really like to be able to meet with people and where it feels like you're having a conversation. I know at first you kind of get the zoomies when you get on the podcast. I even do sometimes. But to sit down and just, reveal your story. So Kathryn came prepared. One of the first things that we do here is we share a quote with the audience, and she has a quote to share today.
Okay, we discovered this quote when we were traveling, and it's by Steve Marabelli, and it says, "I love that this morning's sunrise does not define itself by last night's sunset." And I feel like that just speaks to so much in the hospitality world that we're in. It's like a roller coaster, but we just try to continue to give each other grace and learn and pivot, but not be hindered by what maybe happened yesterday. So yes. I think it's such a good reminder.
It is. Sometimes we can focus on the negative too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great one. Thank you for sharing. Well, I'm ready to dive into y'all's story. So tell us how you guys got to Black Mountain. Go ahead.
Well, we lived down in Marion, and before that we were in the Lake Norman area, which is just north of Charlotte, about 45 minutes. And my background is general contracting. Kat, she has her real estate license. And we were renovating properties, and we found a old gem mine that was basically abandoned for like 7 years. So we decided we were going to move, finish the projects we had going on down there, and move up and renovate that. So that brought us up into the mountains. So we fixed that up and opened it up about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And so we're, I guess, entrepreneurs at heart. So after we had it up and going, I was kind of bored and was looking for something else to do. And we went to Asheville. I don't remember the day we went to Asheville, but we always keep up with real estate and different things that are on the market. And the building that we're in now had been coming on and off the market for a while, and we're like, this is an interesting place. The boys were sleeping. We're like, let's swing in there and take a look at it since she's the agent. And so we swung in there, and actually the owners were lovely people. They were there, and they're cleaning the gutters. And I was like, okay, so they take care of it already. I already know that they've been taking care of it, even though they haven't been in it, which was almost 7 years for that place as well.
Yeah, it'd been closed down for 7 years. It was on the market for 4 years at that point. And they're in their 70s, still on the ladders, cleaning the gutters.
You're like, wow.
So, yeah, these people are committed.
Yeah,
Like, they're great.
and they probably didn't think we were like that serious, and I don't know if we really were.
Because so many people probably looked at it.
Yeah.
Lots of times. They're
It's
like,
yeah, and it's if you've been there, it's a pretty odd layout. And it's even more odd for trying to figure out what it could be before we renovated it. And they gave us a tour, and when they gave us a tour, we went home and we started just brainstorming ideas. And a couple things were happening in my parents' life where they had said if we ever wanted to do another business, kind of like the campground, that they might want to join with us. So we kicked around some ideas, came up with the idea that we have now, or at least the iteration of it, and then went back and forth and finally decided that we would try to turn it into like an Airbnb style listings as a hotel, but with a bar cafe, which is what you see now. The only obstacle was after we got under it, the town said that it could only be a bed and breakfast or a hotel.
okay.
So now it's officially North Carolina's smallest hotel by both rooms and capacity. It holds 14 people, 6 rooms. So that ends up being the smallest in North Carolina as far as all of our research showed. And we had to make it a hotel. So it got much more expensive to do, being a hotel.
Always.
So we turned an old house into a hotel. And
A big house.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to stop for a second and talk about this. I showed it a couple times. What do y'all think about the bunny room?
So many people know about the bunny room. I feel like we should have negotiated the bunny into the contract so that we could have put it somewhere hiding, even in the crawl space.
Yeah, I mean,
To scare people.
wasn't it in the attic?
It was.
Is it the
Yeah, it was in the third floor. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the third floor, in the 50s, the house was a boarding house.
Okay.
So there were 7 rooms. They were each about your wingspan wide by 20 foot long. And they still had some twin beds in those rooms, 1 bathroom up there that when it was a boarding house, they all shared. But yes, in one of the back right rooms, there was a statue of a bunny butler. And every time it would just terrify people when they walked in.
You're like, whoa. Well, I saw that house several times, and I thought it was amazing and had so much potential. But then when I saw what you guys did, you are so talented. Both of y'all are so talented. I mean, y'all did a fantastic job. I love old houses. I'm from Birmingham, and my grandmother was always decorating and redoing things, and I think you guys did a fabulous job, and it's so comfortable. It feels like you're in a modern old house, and it has some great amenities. And so let's talk more about that too. Let's tell the audience what the rooms are like and how many rooms you have.
I feel like the kind of overall inspiration came a little bit from back in 2018. We quit our jobs and traveled for a year, and we spent 5 months in Southeast Asia, and we just loved. There were so many hostels there that the best thing about them was you could just go downstairs. There were all these communal spaces. You were encouraged to just sit down with somebody else from another country that you didn't know or another town over.
That.
Pick up a conversation, and we just we loved that. I felt like we met so many cool people. We still have friends that we follow and talk to somewhat regularly, at least online still, from those times. And it was just something about the way they laid it out and just the atmosphere that they created. So that was really an inspiration that we tried to replicate. So we've done a lot of greenery downstairs. In the main bar, we put a lot of effort and intentionality in trying to figure out how to balance making it nice but not stuffy.
Yeah.
And one thing was very much making it's a coffee and a craft beer shop that you can happen to stay above. It's not a hotel with a bar, because those have totally different connotations. And a hotel with a bar you don't want to come to once a week. You might go once a month. And we were hoping for regulars that would come consistently. So,
And they are.
yeah, good. Yes. We've got some amazing regulars. So we love this community so much. Everybody's so amazing, so talented. I'm constantly blown away when people come in at what they're working on and pictures of the stuff they've done. It's it's so cool to see such an artistic community.
Well, it feels so good to be able to hang out in a place where the mediums that you've used, it feels, yes, antique, Asian, and then also modern. So
Right.
you really put all the elements together. And downstairs, you can feel that. You can go to all your different little nooks and crannies. And can I do the radio show there soon?
Yeah, please, you should.
It would be a
We
pretty
love
good place
that.
for the radio. Yeah.
Yes.
I know. We can just talk about y'all every time we do a show.
You can use one of our hotel rooms if you need quiet.
I love that. Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that. So, all right, and then explain a little bit more about the how many rooms, and if how many guests are allowed to be in each room. Or you have a penthouse, so tell the audience a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have 6 rooms total. There's one room on the first floor that's an accessible room. So we kind of split what was the original living room of the house and created an accessible room down there. And then the second floor, when we purchased it, it was 8 small rooms that all had Jack and Jill bathrooms. We turned that into 4 rooms, so they're kind of like little suites. You have a living room side, and then we busted out the closets to make a hallway, and then you've got a separate little bedroom side. So they're little like suites, half are queen beds, half are king beds, and there's one on the end that has a balcony that's actually just a studio. So all of those rooms on the second floor sleep 2 guests, and then the third floor, what we were talking about earlier, was the boarding house. We blew all those walls out and created a 2-bedroom, kind of like efficiency apartment almost, but it's still for short term. It's got a kitchenette, a large living space, and then a room with a king bed and a room with a queen bed at the back.
That all of them are amazing. That one's a really cool space too.
We love the third. It's very unexpected. I like to show that room off just to people because I think you're just expecting this attic, and it does very much have the sloped attic ceilings and stuff, but we did a lot of whites and a very Scandinavian feel, I guess, up there. And I think that it's big too, and the lighting's fantastic up there. So I think
It doesn't feel like you're in Black Mountain when you're up there.
Thank you. Yeah, we're pretty proud of that room.
Thanks.
That was that had a lot of. I mean, we had to think about stuff for a lot, just because everything was very intentional. But that one was pretty tough because you did feel like you were going into an attic. So it's like, how do you figure out how to make it not feel like you're going into an attic? And it's actually a residential space because we had so much egress things of turning the house into the hotel. So we had to like work with that. So I think that's officially residential. So we could live there one day if we wanted to, but not in the future.
Kids, be quiet. Be quiet.
Yeah, not with a 3 and a 5-year-old. Right?
I know. Well, so Trevor, did you do most of the work?
Well, I was the GC, so I pulled like the permits, and I did a significant amount of the work. Obviously, we had to get licensed contractors. My brother, luckily, owns a HVAC company, Polar Air, but he's down the mountain, and I helped him start it. So I had a bunch of IOUs, so that helped. So we did a lot of that all together. But we still had to get electrician, plumbers, but a lot of the more finer detail things were done by me. So
Yeah, Trevor did a lot of the carpentry stuff. He built the bar from scratch and the fireplace from scratch, and that was just an empty room. So it's cool because now I think you don't even feel like they were just plopped down in there. They look like they were meant to be there, so I think he did an awesome job.
Well, so let me get this straight. You guys decided to buy this building, make it a hotel, and it's been, how many years has it been now? Since you've been open?
Not even a year.
Not even a year.
yeah, we opened in August
Yep.
of last
Okay.
year.
And so you have a 3 and a 5-year-old, and he was the GC. You were probably the interior decorator. You guys are amazing.
No.
No, it's true. I mean, you are doing everything at once, and you're sitting here and still sitting by each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get along. Yeah, I mean, we get along working pretty well. We had some pretty good guidance of how to work with your spouse, so I feel like we took that to heart. We have a pretty good foundation, I guess. So.
And what y'all are creating is beautiful. So y'all should be proud of yourselves.
Thank you.
It really is. Well, all right. So we talked about the whole process of how y'all obtained the building and what it took to redo it, and also kind of outline the rooms. And audience, I just want to tell y'all, every single room is amazing and different. And so if you haven't been, come and take a look, and also sit in their beautiful spaces, have coffee. There's a food truck also. What days is the food truck there?
Yeah, Abioko Pizza. He moved up here in December. He's been an amazing addition. I would say it's the best pizza in town. I know that might
I've
some
heard
people's
that.
feelings.
No,
but
I
it's
mean,
he's
I
very
have.
good. And he right now he's going Thursday evenings, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for lunch and dinner. And
Nice.
we hope noon to 8, and we hope to add maybe a little bit more. So we'll see.
No, I think that's a great addition to what you guys have.
Yeah, I mean, what brings people together more than pizza? It's like we were thinking about trying to get something up there full time, and we would notice how many guests would just come back with boxes of pizza. And then it was it's a whole story in itself how we ended up getting together. But yeah, it was definitely meant to be. So
I love those types of things, where it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is right in front of my face. This is supposed to be here.
Yeah, very serendipitous.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about your hours for the coffee bar and the bar, and also weddings and just events you might have going on this summer.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you can come get coffee, pastries in the morning, and then it transitions to, happy hour and stuff midday. Friday and Saturday we're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then Sundays we are noon to 8. And then, so we've got a couple of our first full buyout weddings. We're not going to do a lot of them just because we don't want to randomly be closed to the public.
Right.
Our guests and our community is first priority, but if somebody really wants to do a special day there, then we would love to do it once a month or so. So we're excited about doing a couple of those coming up. They'll rent all the hotel rooms, and then just on Saturday have their big reception.
I mean, all in one.
It's all in one. Yep. Have a great little, meander around town for a bit, come back. It should be a fun weekend, a little bit different style for a wedding than just 4 hours with your friends and you're done.
Right.
So it'd be kind of nice to get some more time with the close family. And then as far as public events go, our next big one that we're working on is a big Christmas in July party. So if you made it to Peri in December, we tried to go with a very pop-up bar style. We did wrapping paper on a lot of the walls. We just wanted Christmas to throw up everywhere. And so we want to lean into that more in July, do a quick one day. And we're still trying to make...
One day?
One day.
I think that's more of a week.
Maybe a week.
It's
One
a lot
day.
of work to, if you were there for Christmas and saw that.
True.
I don't know if... I think we got to pull a week of Christmas in July.
Maybe
Yeah.
we will. TBD.
Well, tell the audience what you're looking for if you are an arborist.
Yes. So we have an amazing Norway spruce pine tree that sits beside the house. And our passion and our goal is to decorate it for Christmas, get lights that'll stay permanently, and it will be North Carolina's tallest Christmas tree. So we need an arborist or somebody with a really, really, really tall bucket truck to help us pull that off. And then every year we'll just continue to bring, hopefully, joy to the communities. We did a lot of fun events like Cocoa with Santa and a fun little parade party since Peri's right at the end of the Christmas parade.
Yeah.
So lean into just a little yard party at the end of the parade. And we think it'd just be a fun way just to get people to pull off the interstate, swing by Black Mountain, do a couple things Christmas time instead of just driving right by.
Yeah, Christmas is such a magical time here in Black Mountain with the parade and Holly Jolly, and so way to spearhead some spirit of Christmas.
We'll see.
Trevor's like, okay.
We had so when we opened last August, she decided to do that because really when we opened, our background was knowing the short-term rentals, so we thought the hotel was going to carry it in the beginning, and then we would build the bar and the coffee shop. And when the hurricane hit, after being open 6 weeks, we were like, okay,
Is that how long? 6 weeks after the hurricane?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Just long enough to like really know where everything, like, okay, everything's got a good home and place, and then shut down for 6 weeks now, and then you start over and you're like, forget how to use the computer.
Yeah.
We should probably relearn that.
Yeah.
What were you going to say there?
Well, we were like, since we had opened, we were like, okay, we'll open, we can knock out, have a good October. And it was looking really good. And then obviously every single basically booking canceled for the hurricane. So we were like, we got to get the bar up and known. So she was like, let's go hard on Christmas. And I was like, don't tell me the budget. Just do what you think you need to do. And we got all the employees in and we made it happen. And it was great. It was great. I was happy to see it come down because a month in that chaos is a lot of... but it was a lot of fun. So she crushed it for that.
I didn't realize that happened. I know that was difficult, and good job making it through. And y'all's space, like downstairs. I came by there the other day because I told a friend of mine to go by. She had spent the night because she lives in Marshall. She has 2 twins, and she was meeting a friend, and I think it was like 10 o'clock that I went by there in the morning, and it was completely full. It was a Thursday morning. Everyone was like, had their headphones on, working, and there were some people sitting by the bar, some people outside, and then I love y'all's big round table. I call it the sunroom. I don't know what y'all call it.
That's what we call it.
But just... so many people are enjoying that space.
Good.
Because it's like a extra large coffee shop with really comfy spaces.
It's like a home away from home. I feel like a lot of people are like, this is just my second home now and you can tell they feel pretty comfortable in there. They might be doing some things that you wouldn't do at a normal business.
Oh, that's funny. And your outdoor spaces.
Yeah.
So you got the hotel, you got the coffee bar and wine bar, and then pizza, and then special events. We had a special event there the other day, and that was amazing. It was outside, and so guys, if you are looking for a place to like have a business meeting, the Peri Social is the best place to do it.
Thank you. I mean, we have some great groups. We have like a sweet knitting group that comes like every Friday, and there's one lady who will just coach her friends and other girls through like if they're at a snag or something. We've got a game night that comes every like Friday, and it's just awesome to see. Like, that's what we wanted the space to be. We wanted to create a place that people could come together and meet, and you don't have to host at your house because you feel like you have to clean up. So,
right.
And so somewhere that just fosters community again, especially after like COVID time and stuff when everybody was so isolated. We were really passionate about creating somewhere that was just nice for people to gather. So we're so happy to see the ways that people are using it that we couldn't have even envisioned, because it's not I don't knit, so I don't think about people knitting together in a circle, but it's so cool to see them grabbing coffee and chatting and catching up through all that, and just you can really feel the relationships, and we love that.
And you were able to experience that when you guys traveled, and it's a great place to meet people that you might not know, and like hopefully people that are listening to the show are like, wait, there's a knitting club that meets there. I want to go and see. And I know I'm having Kim Hughes next, and I want to say that her and some ladies might meet up there too. So, that brings me to another question is, do y'all put this on your Facebook or Instagram, like what goes on? Maybe certain people are meeting, or is it kind of out of maybe those people do that?
Most of those groups they do, but if people approach us, like there's this one group called Connecting Conversations, and she was just really passionate about creating a safe space for people. It initially started as like post-hurricane, just kind of decompressing things, but then they were having such good small group conversations that she's like, I just want to continue this and just provide a space that people can be open and share. And so they've continued to do that twice a month. And since she's consistent about it, and you know, she knows when they're coming, they just pick a spot, blah, blah, blah. We happily put that on our calendar so that people know when it's happening.
Yeah.
So anytime that people do have consistent stuff, we are absolutely love to help promote
And your
it.
calendar is on your website or your Facebook?
Mostly on our website.
Okay.
We do post stuff consistently on the Facebook of what's coming up in the next couple weeks, but the easiest place to find an ongoing calendar is right on our website.
And can you share that with the audience?
Yes, it is perisocialhouse.com.
Okay. Well, oh, this is an amazing place, and y'all, it's beautiful. Let's talk about the black house. I have a white farmhouse. Now sometimes I'm like, should I paint it black?
Nah, don't do it. Go stay classic with that.
So tell me how y'all chose that.
When we used to renovate houses, I always wanted to do black. This was before, I think it was Fatty. I just always liked the idea of black. And my kids know it's my favorite color. So when we did the glamping campground, we decided to go black. She's like, let's do it. It'll look like it's tucked away and hid in all the cabins. And when we came up here, we were like, we're not going to do black. And that house had been painted before and then sandblasted off. So like all the mortar joints and stuff are all different sizes. And we punched around some different colors that we thought would be nice. And we kind of, I think, always knew in the back of our head that black was going to probably be the best choice for it. It's kind of, now it feels like kind of mountainy. You got a lot of wood accents and a lot of greenery, and the black goes so well with that kind of stuff. We had like the cedar shake, so we kind of knew, even though we wanted it to be more unique than like the campground. And once we started painting everything looked dirty. Did it not? Because of those mortar joints, it was dirty because it was the sun faces it the whole day, and
we really tried to go white, like at first.
Yeah.
So we painted the sunroom walls white as a trial error. And yeah, it's when the sun hits it, it created so many shadows in every mortar joint that it did just look dirty all the time. And we also were like, and it's such a bit, it kind of sits a little bit on a hill. So it's a very big presence once you notice it back there. And white would have probably been stuffy. When it came down to it, we were like, it's going to feel too formal. It's going to look like a wedding venue. We want it to be more approachable. And something about black, even though if you say that out loud, it doesn't sound like it's an approachable color. But then once you mix in the wood, like you talked about, it creates this very, like, approachable, low-key, but noticeable, but different.
Yeah.
We loved the brick as it was, but it was never going to catch your eye when you drove by, and we needed something to catch your eye.
When I looked at it, I was like, it would be pretty whitewashed, but you're right. You know, that looks more like an elegant place. Maybe it still looks elegant.
Yeah, just
but,
different. It's just a different kind of elegant.
Yeah. I love it.
It would have definitely felt like a wedding venue, I think, if we would have painted it white.
Yeah, and the whitewash, you know, kind of let
I love whitewash.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. I think it's great. Well,
Thanks.
Before we wrap up, I do also want you guys to talk about your campground, and then we can end with our usual where everyone can find you in both places. Can we talk about your campground a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So it was when we found it, it was 11 buildings on water, and we were like, how do you not go look at 11 buildings on water that's less than like any house in Lake Norman, basically, price point wise. So we went and we looked. It used to be a golden gem mining place, so they were hardcore about the gold panning. They would bring dredges with 4-inch pipes, sift out 5-foot mounds of dirt, and spend all weekend sifting through the mounds of dirt looking for gold. And there were cabins there that you could stay in. But they'd been sitting for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And so they still had some green rollout vinyl, and the metal beds were still in there, and they were like, we're going to give you these beds with the quilts on them. And we're like...
We had a great fire, though,
We had
right?
a great fire, yeah.
You're like, no.
So, thankfully, all the structures were there, and other than some pretty severe termite damage, they were in pretty decent shape. So we really just spent a lot of time cosmetically renovating them. We would live in one cabin with our 1-year-old. I was pregnant with the other. Renovate like 2 or 3 at a time, and then we moved over to another one, and we would renovate the one we were just in, and we kind of did this little rotating circle for about 5 months, just interior designing each of the spaces. But now it's called Gold River Camping Cabins, and it is on the Second Broad River, which was part of the U.S.'s first gold rush. So there is definitely still gold in that river. But we have 10 tiny cabins and 4 glamping tents.
Wow.
And so it'll sleep 38 total if you double up in all the beds.
I mean, the wedding party can stay down there, and just have the wedding at the Peri Social.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a fun little.
Yeah,
it's a
we've
fun
actually somehow, some way, that became a wedding spot like last year. And how many weddings did we have there?
spot. 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
Unbeknownst to us, and it's fun because it's totally you get 4 days with your family. Everybody hangs out there. A lot of people lean into the camp thing, so they bring a ton of lawn games, and then day of the wedding, some of them go extravagant and some are just super chill. Here's our super fast standing ceremony, and let's just go have a bonfire.
Y'all make it look easy.
No.
Are you ready for another project?
that might be pushing the relationship a little bit. Yeah.
So, all right. I didn't mean to interrupt you when you were talking about the cabin. So you've got 14 cabins, and how many glamping?
So it's 10 cabins and 4 glamping tents.
Okay. And tell me about the glamping tents. I'm interested.
Yeah, you want to go?
They're like safari, like sidewall tents.
Okay.
2 of them. So they are raised up because we're on the river, so it also floods, but it floods there quite often.
Okay.
So ironically, it flooded a handful of weeks into when we opened that place up too. So that we were a little better prepared over there, but they're raised up off the ground to stay out of the flood zone. AC, she's decorated them so they have beds. They're very nice to sleep in. And then there's just the 2 of them they're just on the ground. They can be moved pretty easily. They're like the what are they called?
They're little bell tents.
Oh,
They're
okay.
like the circus style, but short.
Yeah.
And they have real beds in them and fans and
Nice.
yeah. So the nice thing about the camp is it's fun for groups because there's literally a level of everything for everyone. So like Uncle Jim's like, I'm not going camping unless I am sleeping on the ground. So we have primitive tent sites along the water. And then, Grandma wants to come, but she's like, I'm not going unless there's a bathroom. So we've got a handful of cabins that have bathrooms in them. Some of them you use a bathhouse, and then you could do the glamping tent if you want to try the tent, but you don't want to haul all the gear, all the way down to just regular old tent camping.
What about RV?
We don't have any RV spaces.
Okay.
Yeah.
We used to. We actually put a tiny home up in it,
Okay.
where that was at. But
I guess you could bring your van if you wanted.
Yeah.
you can bring anything
Sure.
that if you have an off-grid like van or something, yeah, you could definitely park it down by the river. A van down by the river,
Yeah, lots of people do that.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So, you guys have some wonderful things going on, and kudos for keeping it all together and being able to delegate. That's a big job,
Yeah, that's something you always have to work on. I think that,
It's true. It's true. So, is there anything else before the closing question that you guys we didn't talk about that you guys would like to talk about?
Did you ever finish the hours when we're open there? I think you said that Monday or
I did.
Yeah,
I think so,
okay. Yeah, closed on Tuesdays.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Not to keep harping on Christmas, I guess, but like one of the great things that came out of that is so many people came out to the space for the first time and saw like how much space we do have in there, an interior space that a lot of places don't have in Black Mountain. So we did a ton of Christmas parties. So whenever you do go by and see that it's busy, there's a lot of parties that people can book for like random one-off things like that too. So we have a lot of those, even if there's, so we do a lot of private things, but typically we don't ever shut down the bar. And we run into our biggest problem now is parking. It always looks full and everyone's like, we thought it was packed, so we didn't want to come in. But the place is so big, if you've been in there, that the parking lot can be slam packed and you'll get in there and it'll feel like not that
And you can
busy
park
at
across
all.
the street if you want to,
Yeah.
especially at the bank when it closes.
Yeah.
Yeah, across the street. The St. James's, they've said that they don't mind. We have a group of them that come in there, but it hasn't been a big problem, but
Yeah.
yeah, we need. That's the only problem we have. We need more space to park.
Listen.
I think that's a really reoccurring thing, kind of in Black Mountain, isn't it? So,
yeah. I mean, it's not that big of a problem. There's the church and across the street.
Yeah.
So, that's a good point. If the parking lot's full, y'all, that doesn't mean it's
still come
completely-
in. You'll have space.
Yeah. So, Kathryn, you shared the website for Peri House. Do you want to share also the website for Gold River Camp and Cabins?
Yeah, it is just goldrivercamp.com.
Oh, nice.
Pretty easy. Yep.
Okay. So, if y'all want to book your Christmas party, office party, wedding, just go and
showers.
yeah, baby
We do a lot of
shower.
baby bridal showers in the sunroom.
Yeah, Kat books all that stuff, so you can always reach out to her. Email us.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. All right. Well, okay. All right, guys. So if you guys want to book a wedding, a private party, a baby shower, contact Kathryn and Trevor either at the Peri Social House or also contact them down at their beautiful campground, Gold River Camp and Cabins.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, just come have a drink and say hi sometime.
Yeah. Such a magical place. Well, last question. If, closing question is, we ask our guests to share one thing, and I'm gonna ask both of y'all, one thing with the audience that's changed your life for the better.
Go ahead, dear.
So, like, instinctively first, obviously, I want to say having kids, but I feel like that's a cop-out answer.
Yeah,
so
same.
obvious.
Like
So,
getting
yes.
married. I mean, obviously, none of our stuff happens without us being married and finding someone that's correct for each other. But that does feel like a cop out too. But that's true.
Yeah, our kids are awesome and they're fun and they've become a lot of inspiration. We have a huge kids side at Peri that I think people have appreciated. And we wouldn't have created it without kids or without kids at this stage. But we have a fully fenced in area with swings because the only way we could get 5 minutes of painting done was to stick them in a swing, give them a push, run away, paint something really quick, and then come back and give them another push. So I think we learned a lot and developed a lot of empathy for other families and what they're looking for through that. So I'm very thankful for that. My non-cop-out answer would probably having been getting the nerve to quit our jobs and travel for a year, because I think we just gained so much confidence more than anything by doing that. That wasn't the goal of it, but we had to pivot a lot and learn and trial and error we just got scammed out of whatever trying to get onto the wrong train. So everything from that to just learning to talk to people from other countries and stuff, I think became a lot better humans through that experience. So I'm super thankful for that.
I love that. Just being able to really take other people's perspectives and learn about it.
For sure.
Instead of being like, well, this is the way it has to be. Mm-hmm. And really opening up your heart. So good job.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, pressure's on, Trevor.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of that because I do think, we sat down and one time we talked about, the best decisions, we've made. And some of them are, the ones that you would always hear about. And the other one was for us to come up here and start the campground. And that was getting us up here into the mountains. And that was a really tough decision, too, because we had our really close group of church friends there. We had our family there. We had some good roots there, but we decided that none of it was big enough and this wasn't far enough away to make that change. And it's, brought on so many more things, and just the peace and the tranquility that you just get from being in the mountains, and the people are great up here, is so much nicer than being in the city and the hustle and the bustle. And it just really, I think changes your, mental, makeup. And those really tough decisions of leaving to travel and, coming up here, usually, if I feel like in your lifetime, the really tough decisions, the harder one is usually the right one. And you have to, talk yourself into doing that, because you want to just be comfortable.
Yeah.
So some of the and then having kids, getting married, those are really big decisions, and they always seem to be the right one when you finally decide to go through and do it. So without those big ones, we wouldn't be up here. We wouldn't have started our own businesses if we didn't travel. We wouldn't have been up here if we didn't start our own businesses. So yeah.
You guys were brave. Y'all are brave to be able to go out on a limb and take a chance. It can be hard,
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, yeah.
But rewarding too.
It is. It is. It's like, if you think about like what you really have to lose, there's not a whole lot of things that, you can't lose and then get back, so.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, you can try anything for a year. And if you hate it, you can always.
You always regret, you did the quote, right? I think that, who is it? Man, I can usually pull this quote out. He wrote Huck Finn.
Is it Mark Twain?
Mark Twain.
Yeah.
It was Mark Twain. It was like 20 years. That's it, Mark Twain. 20 years from now, you'll regret the things you didn't do more than the things you did. And I've always remembered that quote because I think that's very true.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure. Well, you guys know how to do for sure.
A little too much. Yeah.
I know. Well, thank you both for sharing and connecting. I really appreciate it. And y'all are just amazing individuals and team. I love seeing you guys work together. You really shine bright in this community, and I'm looking forward to getting to know y'all more. So, well, guys, that's a wrap for today. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to these wonderful folks. And I just want to remind you guys that you can find us on the Mountain Magnolia Facebook, and you can listen again on 96.1 Bigfoot on Wednesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 10 a.m. Or you can share the podcast with your friends. I'll be sending them to you guys once it's out. And I hope everyone has a beautiful week. And until next time, this is Mary Noble Braden at the Mountain Magnolia Show. And again, thank you, Trevor and Kathryn, for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for joining us for Mountain Magnolias with your hosts, Mary Noble Braden and Leanne Lewis. Join us next time for more interesting stories from the Swannanoa's most interesting people as we give you something to talk about.
Let's give 'em something to talk
Mountain Magnolias is a production of Noble & Company Realty in Black Mountain. For more information, please call them at 828-357-5243. 828-357-5243.
This program is produced and engineered by Cameron Crisp.
The preceding has been a production of Signal Hill Studios. For more information, please call 704-872-0550.